I felt as soon as I found out the news, humility, in the sense how wrong so many of us were. Subhanallah, no one was predicting what happened yesterday. Every serious media pundit, every expert were so confident that it's just a passing phase. And even myself, and I am guilty of this 100%, and I do not make any excuses. Wallahi, it was as if yaqeen to me that it's just a phase, it's not going to happen. The reality is, inshallah, the lesser of the two evils will come to power. And yet, how wrong all of us were. And this truly shows how little our knowledge is. How certain 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago, a month ago, a year ago, how certain everybody was. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَفَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ. Everybody who thinks he has knowledge, there is Al-Alim who is above that person. So this should teach us humility. Don't be so sure. And I speak to myself before anybody else. Don't be so sure, so arrogant about any of these facts or whatnot. And by the way, just FYI, yes, it is true, not a single mainstream expert and pundit predicted this, but there's a small handful of people who did predict this, and perhaps the most prominent amongst them is somebody by the name of Professor Alan Lichtman. Professor Alan Lichtman has studied every single presidential election for the last 200 years or so, and he has predicted for the last 30 years of his own life every single prediction accurately based on surveys and statistics that he does. Believe it or not, and he's written a New York Times best-selling book called The Keys to the White House. Believe it or not, and this is the famous guy that predicted Obama before anybody else did. He predicted so many things, and not because he has some ilm al-ghayb. He's doing mathematical surveys and statistics. Believe it or not, this guy predicted a few weeks ago, just 2-3 weeks ago, he said after all the surveys he's done, he was one of the few voices that's saying Trump is going to win. He was sidelined, and subhanAllah, here we are. Another voice that predicted Donald Trump, by the way, is Michael Moore, the American movie maker who definitely has a pulse on America. Michael Moore had written an article months ago, and he said, I hope you guys prove me wrong, but Donald Trump is going to be the next president, and he gave his reasons, 5 points why, and he actually predicted the swing states. I think 4 of them, I'm not sure exactly, but at least 4 of them, he actually predicted these swing states that you guys are not concentrating on. In reality, they are disenfranchised, they're going to go to Trump. So the first point, humility.